Hey guys, what's going on? This is Kyle from Too Much Bricks and welcome back. So in today's video is a look at the donut shop opening. This is LEGO City set 60233. And as you can see, we have a lot to cover in this set review. I haven't done a set review in a while, so I thought, why not do it on a big one such as this? I was actually not planning to do a set review on this one just because how big it was, but this is probably one of the biggest set reviews I've done in a long time. I've done a couple of set reviews, but as always, you can just click my channel icon, go over to my playlists, and you will see set reviews. You can look at all the set reviews that I've ever done. So we're going to go through this rather quickly, or try to do it quickly, but I'll try to give you as much as an in-depth look at everything individual. So we're going to start off with the builds themselves, then we'll go into the minifigures and wrap up this video. But first of all, huge shout out to my cousins Nicole and Devin. Thank you so much for getting this set for me. As the time of the recording of this video, my birthday has passed. That was on June 2nd, so this is kind of like a nice, awesome birthday present. So shout out to them. And without further ado, let's get into this set review. Alright guys, so starting off with the taxi itself, I'm really happy with the look of this. I think it's a great car to have. I personally don't have a taxi in my LEGO City yet, so this is definitely going in. Definitely going to be a great addition. The doors cannot open, but you can remove the roof. As always, you can stick a figure inside there. Aside from that, there's really not much to say about this. They got a couple of stickers, obviously saying taxi. I'm just trying to get this roof on. We got a license plate right there. Appreciate the level of detail all around the car, making it look nice, and it's not like they just threw it together. They actually took their time to make this look like a real taxi, and I think it looks great. And let's move on to the next one. Next up, we have kind of like the news van, which is definitely an awesome build. I really like the design of it, and just the overall bulkiness of it definitely looks tough and not like a weak build or a weak type of truck. And I think it looks like what you would see one of these types of trucks in real life look like. You can always actually remove the roof. You have one seat in the front, same with the taxi. You can kind of see into the back there. Sorry about the phone ringing over there. But getting back into it, the top, you can lift up the little radar dish, almost said satellite dish, and then you have a couple of antennas that you can lift up when they're actually filming or something. But while they're driving, you can lay them down, and I think that looks great and works great as a view from the top. And then you have the doors on the back where you can open up. If I can just get my hand under here. It's kind of hard to open sometimes, but that's why I'll get to this in a minute. So you can see the inside there. You can also lift the top up, so if you had the door closed and you're having trouble, just pick those little handles. You can just open them like that, and you got the controls in there, and you can also seat a minifigure in there, and it all closes up very nicely. And you also have a little containment unit over there. I'm not sure what they use that for. Maybe for some data or samples that they collected from whatever they are doing. So you can go ahead and just snap the roof back on. Overall, I think it was a very nice build. Moving on to the next couple of builds, it just came with the standard police bike, nothing too fancy there, just a couple of clips to put your stuff there, and you can easily just seat a minifigure inside, snap them onto the handlebar, and you can just drive away after the crook. Nothing for the crook to escape in this set, though. I found that kind of funny. But moving on to a brilliantly designed, which I really love, this little stand for some baked goods, some coffee there, city coffee stand. Looks really, really nice, with like half a bike part into it, and then you got some more wheels on the build itself. I think it looks overall great. You could put a minifigure on it if you wanted to, and you could just push it around. It does rule. You got the nice little umbrella there. Definitely an awesome build. Really love the look of it. Next, we're moving on to one of the buildings in the set, which is the toy store. I think it is definitely an awesome build. I mean, the look of it, I really love the look of it. And although they didn't close off the back, which is, I think, fine for playability, it's got like kind of like the dollhouse. You can play inside. I don't think you cannot open the roof or take the roof off, but I'll try to give you the best look from the inside. Looks like you got a little computer here or cash register. You got some toys in the window there. Aside from that, there's really nothing else inside there because of the small space. But if you just look at it from the front, you can definitely tell what it is just with the lime green trim. I really like the look at. And moving this out of the way, the look from the top, you have the turquoise blue and red balloon. I've never gotten a turquoise blue one, so that's definitely awesome. Do love the sign that says toys with the train on it. That's definitely awesome. On the door here, which always actually can open up so you can walk inside the store, it says the toys open sign, and then you have a little basket out here. Seems to have a net and a couple of other things in there that you can pick from, which is definitely pretty cool. And then it comes with this little side build. Very simple. It's just a tile snapped onto one of these little bracket pieces with the sticker that does have the pinwheel hat that you can see through the window there on it, but that doesn't actually attach to it. You can have that somewhere else. And then on the side, it also does have the new, as it says, teddy bear as featured in the window. So I definitely think that that's cool. Nothing on this side, though. And aside from that, that completes it for the toy store. Moving on to the super lift truck or crane that helps with the opening of the donut shop. Let me just adjust those stilts there. So this is what's going to be placing the donut on the top, and once that donut is placed on the top, which I'll show you a little bit later, then it is officially open. So I'll tell you a little bit more about the storyline of the set, which I really enjoy. But I just got a sticker there. It says Super Lift, because it definitely does have an awesome crane over there for some strong lifting beams or whatever, but in this case a giant donut. The doors do open, so you can put a minifigure inside. You can take the roof off. Just a standard minifigure, red minifigure cup in the window, and then just a seat for two, but mainly just for one driver there. And then obviously you got the huge crane. This can all be removed from the truck assembly itself. Just a little bit tough sometimes, but you can have the truck itself just like that without a trailer, which I think still looks pretty cool. It's a nice design. And that really completes it for the truck itself. Moving on to the trailer. This is definitely, it was an interesting build. I'm not sure what this is. Leave down in the comment section down below. But it does twirl around. I'm not sure, maybe if I missed something, but I'm not sure what that is. You have a little tool rack here that's got a wrench, a hammer, or an axe in it. And this is when you bring the crane down and it rests in that little socket. You have the little knob here that you can turn, and that just gently lowers the crane into that socket, as I said, to where it just rests like that if you don't want to have it up. And the same mechanism just the other way to have it go back up. And then this whole thing does do about almost a 360. It's just that knob. If you left out the knob, it could do a 360, but the knob is just blocking it up against there. So aside from that, you do have the chain that you can attach the donut to, and then when it's doing that, you have these stilts, as I like to call them, that can retract or come back out to give the trailer a little bit of, just to make it a little bit more sturdy or stability there. And yeah, so that really completes it. I'm going to go ahead and show you it with the donut. And that's what it looked like with the donut. Definitely pretty cool. I can give you a reference to minifigure scale. My minifigure there. So that's the giant donut, and I'll tell you more about that. But they do just have you have the chain connect up there. It was dangling before, so you can just bring it underneath, kind of like an O, underneath or through the donut, and then connect back at the top. And overall, pretty cool. And last but not least, I saved the coffee shop for last, since this is really what the set was about. And I really do like the overall look of it. You have the nice dark blue trim there. You do have the nice City Coffee sign. Overall, pretty detailed. I do, as I said, like the look of it. You got now open sign, because this is the opening, or the coffee shop, or the donut shop opening. But this is kind of like a coffee shop as well. It says coffee on it, but obviously with the big donut that I'll show you on top in a minute. Is the donut shop, as it's called. You don't have the door in the center as you did in the toy store. It is now off to the side, which is kind of something that I like. I don't like to have everything centered, because not everything in real life is centered, so I definitely think that that's cool. You got a little bit of the creased bricks, as I like to call them, to add some more detail. The side, and then it is the dollhouse opened effect, just like the toy store. But in this case, you can actually remove the roof with some ease, unlike the other one. To get easier access there at the top, you just have these to make it a little bit easier. And there's nothing too fancy on this top, just a couple of golden flags. Let me just put it back on. And then it has a mechanism for the donut, which I'll show a little bit later. All right, so with the roof back on, off to the side, you do have a nice little ATM there, which is definitely a little cool build. You can bring this down to get your money, I guess. I believe this is an ATM. I'm not sure. That's my guess of it. You do have a little seating arrangement for some people. Very, very small table. It's a 1x2 tile there. And then you can have, when you walk in, you can see all the pastries and the goodies or the sweets right there in the glass case. Definitely a cool look. And then you have some more pastries off to the side. And that's where they'll make the drinks. This is obviously where the employees will stand. And then you can see the menu up on the top over there. Definitely cool. But this isn't the donut shop opening without the donut itself. So the donut itself is a very interesting build. I do like the look of it, and it almost makes me hungry to have one of these. That's how good it looks, especially from this side. But I'm going to go ahead and install that for you. So you have that right there, and the red tile with 2 studs at the end that you can just plop right on, just like that. I'll go ahead and pick up the camera for you to give you a view. So that's what it looks like. Definitely very cool. And it does come with an action feature that I'm not sure why this would happen, where you can actually pop the donut off. Unless they didn't install it right or whatever, the wind or something, but you just have this little lever there, and then moving the flag out of the way, you can see a little better. You just press down, and that just completely rolled off the studio, and it just rolls away, which is definitely very cool. Finally, with the donut back, I spent quite some time trying to find it after it rolled away on me, but definitely very cool. As I mentioned, you do have the nice flags there, so this is definitely a nice addition to your Lego City. And definitely an awesome little coffee shop build. Now moving on to the minifigures. This is the taxi driver that it comes with. That's who they're gonna have driving the taxi itself. Just a nice little dark red hat. No secondary face since the hat doesn't come all the way down. Just a nice guy with a nice mustache, and then he's got his jacket on and just some regular blue pants. Overall, pretty cool. Then we'll be moving on to the people that came with the toy store itself, starting off with Mom, as I like to call her. They don't actually give you names, and then her son on his skateboard over there. Nothing too special about the son himself, just the regular short legs, not the removable ones. No secondary face on him, and then he's just got the astronaut shirt. And then you have a traditional Lego skateboard, just this time colored in orange. But I did want to point something out about his mom, because I really love the hairpiece on his mom. I think that they did a great job with that. I personally have never seen this one before. If this will focus. Come on. There we go. So I really love the look of it, putting it on her. You can see what it looks like. I love the look of it from the front and then the back. And she's just got a nice little pink button down along with some light blue pants on. So overall, pretty cool. Next, we'll be moving on to a little side story, which is a cop and a robber. This is actually given a name. The cop is Duke Detain, and this is just a robber. So Duke Detain has an interesting hairpiece. It is not the traditional, flat, bumpy hairpiece. It's spiked at the very tip. So this has been used for the newer Rise of Skywalker fin, I believe. And then he's just got his handcuffs and a nice dark blue torso instead of the light donut blue or kind of turquoise bluey. So this is kind of more of a serious. He does have a secondary face. He's got his glasses on, and some very, very thick eyebrows on that side. So that's really all for Duke Detain. And then just the traditional Lego handcuffs. Regular thief with his beanie on, no secondary face since the beanie does not come all the way down, and just the regular Lego crowbar. And Duke Detain also does come with a biker helmet for when he's on his motorcycle, so you can remove that hairpiece and put his helmet on. And overall, pretty cool. And next up, we have the camera crew, as I like to call them. You have the one who will be interviewing the owner of the coffee shop since it's opening, and then the guy who's filming. So she just has a regular little hairpiece that we've seen before, microphone, and then she has her red button down with a little ID tag and just some regular black pants and no secondary face. I believe Duke Detain was the only one in this that had a secondary face, and as I said, just her regular little microphone there. And then the guy who's filming has a nice sweatshirt on with some light blue pants, dark blue hat, sorry about that, and then his just regular face, a little bit of stubble and no secondary face. And then he has his nice camera, which is definitely an interesting build, definitely looks very cool. And then you have the employees, or maybe the owners of the new coffee shop. They don't actually give you any employees or owners of the toy store, so it's kind of just abandoned. But they do give you some for the coffee shop, since that was the main focus of the set. This is just a girl. They do have the same torso, no secondary face, just a nice braided dark blonde hair, and so she'll have a nice little happy face there. And then you have the other guy, with just a black swerved swishy hair, and then the same exact torso, same exact legs, and not a lot of printing on the back, just a little crease there. And that really completes it for the owners, or again, the employees of the donut shop. And last but not least, the man who makes this all possible by operating that super lift truck to put the donut on the top of the donut shop or coffee shop. Just a little construction worker guy with a nice little white construction cap, and just another guy with a mustache, a little bit of printing on the back of his shirt, no secondary face, and overall, pretty cool fig. Gonna go ahead and show you the set with all its minifigures and components together, and we'll wrap up this video. And that completes it for our look at LEGO City's donut shop opening, or coffee shop, but it is referred to as the donut shop. Again, set 60233, and it was a very fun build. Just a couple of ups and downs in my opinion. I would have loved to see a third building. So you have the toy store, the coffee shop, and maybe something else. I would have loved to see a mini pet store. That would have been cool. And I probably would have maybe not included the police bike and the robber and Duke Detain, maybe had taken them out, and then maybe excluded the taxi and left the obviously the reporter van, just to have one more building. But those were just my thoughts. Overall, I'd rate this probably, I'd give it about a 6, definitely. Again, just because I think that it could have benefited from maybe another building. But overall, I would have loved to see a little bit more expressions on the minifigures' faces, maybe some more secondary faces. But overall, the builds themselves were pretty cool, and the minifigures were pretty cool. But this, I think, is definitely an awesome starter set if you're building a LEGO City, because you get 2 buildings, a lot of people, some nice cars, and a lot of other nice builds, and a little side story. So basically, you have him with these little construction truck there, helping build the coffee shop and put the donut on top. And then you'll have like the camera crew interviewing the, owners of the shop themselves, and then they can all relax, have some coffee, have some donuts, and then stop by the toy store later. So it's a nice little, I think, playset for children, and definitely an awesome addition. I'm definitely going to be putting a lot of this stuff in my LEGO City, so stick around for that video coming up soon. And I know this has been a very long video. Hopefully you all stayed with me. Leave down in the comment section down below what you thought, and remember, you can never have too much bricks. Hope you all enjoyed. Subscribe, drop a like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.